Hello everyone. Final area of Dark Visions has released. We're going to take our first look and see what we can learn and see if we think it's going to be possible to max out the first two fights at least. So the first fight here, physical fire or wind damage. We're going with a wind-based team. So we have Mastermind Zahn. He has Carbuncle for ice resist. He is passive draw attacks, full evade, has all status immunities. And everybody has 20 or better for ice and earth resist. Warrior of Light Bartz, we're kind of ignoring his base form. He's starting in base just for the LB fill, and then he's going to sit in his shifted form for the rest of the fight. So we have him dual-wielding swords. We have some attacks, some killers, his little bit of required resist. So he's got 165 plant killer. Laswell and Reagan, base form is all about LB fill. Dragon's Brush, Call of the Wild. So 12 crystals, 350 rate boost. And then their shifted form, dual wielding swords again, and focused on their LB. 300 plant, 300 LB. Noctis, we're going to use his LB for the sword imperil, which is why we're using a bunch of swords. And then mine doesn't have shift unlocked, so he's just going to be a chainer for us. So we got him attacking killers. So he's got 255 plant. Minera, she's our breaker, and then she's going to chain with Noctis. We gave her one sword at least, and then just whatever attacking killers we could find. Which she's only got 80%. And shift form, she's starting in shift. She has her resist and lion emblem just to help with LB fill. And Faris, base form, focused on the LB. Dual wielding swords. $300 Esper, 200 Evo, 175 LB. And shift, which is where we're starting, just to be ready for the easy setup in LB. Give her Mog Search in case we get a scan. Other than that, just has the resists. Alright, so let's look at the first one. Alright, do have to scan, so we're going to have Faris take care of that. Okay, so Zahn is going to ice buff. Bartz, we're going to shift, and he's going to do our earth buff. Let's see, Laswell and Reagan, we're just going to triple gleaming. It shouldn't do much damage, but we want to boost that LB up. Okay, so we're good there. If we weren't, we could fill LB with Minera, but we don't have to. So we're just going to guard them then. Alright, turn 2. The only thing that we gotta do boost wind damage for everybody, get our plant killer in there, and then we can do a job up. And everybody else is just going to guard. Okay, so I was correct. It looks like the imperil should be this turn, which works out. Alright, so this turn, Bart's is going to do his limit. Alright, before we do that, let's see. Because I want to do it in the order that's going to do the least amount of damage. Actually, the only thing I need to do with them is... yeah. Laswell's going to prep LB. Ferris is going to fill. Get a magic buff. And we're just going to waste the last cast without doing damage. So yeah, the Noctis is going to LB before we do any buffs on him. Alright, we're going to shift her back to base. And I believe all we're going to do is the Marauders. And now, Bart's can do his limit. Give everybody a wind buff. And Zahn. So I need to critical on Bart's for the plant killer. And then, let's see. Critical on Ferris for the attack and magic. And spread that. Yep. Alright, so we should be good to kill it next turn. Yep. There's the imperil, which we don't care about, because it's time for it to die. Hopefully. Alright, so Zahn is going to triple cast, and we're going with a mirror chain. Bart's is going to triple Brave Blade. Noctis. So we're going to do double Royal and a Legacy. Minera. Just going with Condemning, her best modifier there. Laswell shift and limit. Ferris go back to base for limit. So we're going to go Ferris, SR, AT, and then Laswell when we're at a 300 chain mod. Alright, let's see what happens. Yeah, we got 100 chain in there. It's only like half the damage though. At least to cap out. Not bad for the first look though. Okay, for the second fight, it's magic this time, lightning or dark. We kind of have a hybrid team, but we are on the dark slot. So first up we have Zahn with Lakshmi for charm resist. He's full draw attacks, full evade, status immunity, and has light resist. Milia, we're only using shift form. Water and light resist for her. And then just high spirit and some killers. It's 150 fairy killer for her. Lightning, starting in base form, Dragon's Brush, Call of the Wild for LB Fill, and 12 crystals per turn. And then Shift is our damage form, so that is Magic and Killers. $150 on the Fairy Killer there. Soul is starting in Shift form, just in case we have to scan it, give him Mog Search. And then base form is our Chaining form. So, just magic and whatever killers I could scrounge up. 45. Don't have many magic fairy killers. Minera is here. She's going to Mirage the team. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't really do more than like one AE attack a turn. We're about to find out. Other than that, just gave her some magic to chain with. No killers. And Ibarra. So, base form doesn't really matter. Shift, we're focused on LB. So we got 225 Fairy Killer, only 145 on the LB damage. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, we don't have to scan it. Soul can go back to base form. Alright, Zahn, first turn here, we have to put up our Charm Resist. The Charm Resist first. With her, let's see, do I want to just do... Oh, we want to put up Magic Cover. And then we could do her Spirit buff now, because she's the only one really wanting Spirit. Lightning, we're going to ATB charge. Okay. Alright, that's the self only with unlocking. And this one here, let's see, enable for 4 turns. We should be fine for the first turn just to do the Phantom Avatar. And we're going to wait on unlocking her killer. So I guess we'll just auto attack for some crystals. And Soul can do the same. Okay, only one attack, that works out. Alright. Second turn, we're going to do Charm Resist again. So we're going to Magnus and add Lightning to Zahn. Oh, not that one, this one. Yeah, so I have 2 more Mirage stacks on everybody. So I'm going to have her Ghost Maze now to unlock Quadcast. Alright, Lightning is going to go shifted form, and we're going to do Disaster for defensive break for like Zon. Try to maximize what we can do. And then Ibarra and Soul, they're just going to kind of guard for now. Alright, now it's our setup turn. So she's going to just make sure everything's, yeah. So we're going to LB with her. That's going to get her modifiers up as much as possible. Ibarra. I need our killer first, so we're not doing max amount of damage. And let's do a weakening. And a menacing. Try to reduce the amount of damage we're doing as much as possible. Alright, so I have one Mirage stack for everybody. Let's see, extra to the Lightning. She's got resist. Extra Ibarra. And extra to Soul. Because we have our multicast unlocked, so that's really all I gotta worry about there. So I think we just want to do his blessing. Yeah, so blessing for Soul. Lightning is going to LB. Alright, Zon, we're going to Reflector. So we're going to critical on Ibarra for the killer. We're going to critical on Lightning for both the attack and magic buff, because she does a double. And then project. So Magic Tank already did her own spirit buff. Don't have to worry about that. Alright, so we should be able to kill next turn. Alright, so we're going with a bolting. Although I guess I could do the SR chain. Nah, we'll go with bolting, just to make it a little bit easier, because we're going to have... Alright, so 1, 2... And then for her, 1, 2, 3, and her cooldown should be good. No? I guess not. Not quite yet. That's fine. Ibarra is going to LB. Lightning is going to add in some bolting with her surge. So the front 3 are all doing lightning damage. The back 3 are all doing dark damage. They have lightning boosts from our magic tank, dark boosts from the party slot. Alright, let's see if I murder this chain. Oh yeah, that was a bad tap. Yep. Knew it was going to break. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to cap this one because I couldn't find a lot of killers. We'll definitely fix that chain though, because that was just me not tapping well. So that chain will definitely go up. I might see what I can change a little bit for damage, but finding killers is going to be the issue. Okay, so we're at the final area against Leviathan. We can do whatever we want. So we're going to be going with a fire-based team. So we have Minera. She is starting in shift form. We gave her the book for fire and BU cores for boosted fire damage. Beginning of the end, I want to be lazy with dispelling while we're learning this. And then shift, at least one sword, and then just attacking killers. 215 aquatic for her. Noctis, dual wielding swords, one of them is fire, and then just attacking killers. 225 aquatic for him. Infernal Rain, Brumal cores, and then just a bunch of LB fill in base form. Shift, has at least one sword and focused on LB. 180 Esper, 140 Evo, 100 LB. Summerfiend and Lid, base form, one weapon, draw attacks, and full evade. And they have 11 crystals per turn. So shift form, still draw attacks and full evade, and then just tried to add a little bit of damage on top of that. So we got 50 LB boost, no killers, it's fine. Faris base form, single weapon, resists Mog Search if needed. Shift form is LB focus. So 300 aquatic, 300 LB. Terra base form, again single weapon. Gusty attack for our wind buff. And then shift is standard LB. So 220 Esper, 300 Evo, 230 LB. Yeah, let's take a look here. Alright, so first turn, all we're really doing is our buffs. So we're going to water buff, Faris, no, Terra, Gusty attack. Everybody else can just kind of chill and guard. Alright, turn 2, we're going to try to get 100 chain in. So we're going to triple Shadowcast, Noctis, triple Royal Cleave, Rain is just going to double, and we're just going to hit Crimson Knight. And the back 3 are going to AR, that's why they all have just a single weapon. Alright, so we should easily get over 100. Alright, chain score is done. Alright, seeing that we didn't screw up the chain, we pretty much got a free turn. I'm just gonna have everybody guard. Alright, there's our imperil. So we're gonna dispel first. Let that go through. Alright, now Gusty attack for wind buff. Water fight for water buff. Rain. is going to, yeah, Fire Beast Rage to unlock his multicast. And the other two for this turn can just kind of guard. Alright, this turn Minera is going to add Fire to self. Terra is going to just refresh Wind buff. Ferris is not doing anything, although I could get the better fire imperil there. Alright, first of all, let's refresh Water buff. Let's get our Aquatic Killer. And Ocean Magnus in. Yeah, because this here should be a 130. Yeah. So we'll get the better fire imperil now. Yeah, let's do that. Do that first. Then Fina can do her thing. Noctis is going to Chosen Kings for anybody that isn't getting a better buff themselves. Plus, he needs his own buff. Rain, we're going to shift and summon a Freet. Alright, so we'll have Rain set up first. So we're going to do his cooldown first, because that deals damage. Then his Magnus and Howl, because I don't want to do too much damage. Fina, we're going to shift them over. So we're going to do Magnus, and then attack buff, and then we're just going to try not to do too much damage. Terra, standard LP setup. Magnus and release fire. Ferris. So we're going to Pirates for the LB boost, Bless for the bonus fire, and Roar for the big attack and magic buff. Mainly the attack at the moment. Noctis is going to LB for the sword in peril. Alright, so Minera goes to base form. So we're going to get attack buff. We're going to break and just steal or whatever. It doesn't really do damage. Alright, so next turn we're ready to kill. Alright, so front two, we're going to SR chain. We're doing condemning because of the bit of modifier. Noctis can do double royal and a legacy. Rain is going to LB. Fina is going to LB. Ferris is going to LB. Terra is going to LB. So we're going to send Fina and Terra first, and then our chainers. Yeah, I might have missed Ferris at the 300. Looks like Fina has to go before Terra. Interesting. Alright, so 1.4. Alright, so that's the third fight, and that's the end of all the new ones. So we took our first look. We'll probably be back to a couple of them to see about getting better scores now that we saw most of the fights. But we're going to end the video there. Hope everybody enjoyed.